Welcome to the first video of Unit A, Ratio and Proportional Thinking, Rate and Unit Rate. The focus of this video is going to be over recognizing and representing proportional relationships between quantities through identifying the constant and proportionality unit rate in tables, equations, diagrams, and verbal descriptions of proportional relationships. We're going to do this through finding out what is rate, what is unit rate, and how to find unit rate. So what is rate? According to the book, rate is a ratio that compares two quantities with different kinds of units. So what is a quantity and what is a unit? Quantity is just a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so on. A unit is a label for what that number is representing. So let's think of this ad for Gatorades right here. 2 Gatorades for $3. The numbers here we see are 2 and 3. The units would be Gatorades and dollars because that's what those numbers are representing. 2 Gatorades for $3. Or this Checkers ad, 4 for $3. It's talking about 4 items for $3. Items and dollars are the units here. That's what the units for these are. 4 items, $3, 2 Gatorades for $3. They just so happen to be the same dollar amount here, just coincidence. So what does rate look like? How can we see rate represented? We can have a verbal representation. So the Checkers ad was kind of a verbal representation, a very simple one. We could also see a scenario description of something happening that has numbers in there that describe a rate. We'll see an example of that later. Fractions, yes, we're going to see fractions. Fractions don't go away in math. I understand we don't like them. We're going to have to tolerate them though. So 4 items for $3. 4 items over $3. That's the fraction form of that Checkers ad. And we can also see a comparison of that same ad. 4 items to $3. That means we can get 4 items to every $3 that we're willing to spend. We have 2 comparisons right here, but they mean the same thing. The colons just replace the word to. So 4 items colon $3 means 4 items to $3. So we just need to be aware that if we see colons in the future, what it is actually representing. So now that we know what a rate is, we need to know what is a unit rate. Well, a unit rate is a rate that is simplified so that the denominator is equal to 1. So we have to think back to the fraction form of a rate and know that we can take that form and simplify it to where the denominator is 1. What does that allow us to do? Well, it would allow us to find out the value of one item. So think about the Gatorade, how much one Gatorade would cost, or how much one item from Checkers would cost. So maybe we don't want to pay for all 3, we just want to pay for 1. Another thing you can think about it is an ad for gas you see around town. $1.99 per gallon. It's talking about you're paying $1.99 for every 1 gallon. That is a unit rate there. So how do we find unit rate? Well, we have to make sure that we have a rate first. Make sure we have 2 different units there stated. After we ensure we have a rate, we are then going to divide the denominator of our fraction to both the numerator and the denominator. That will allow us to simplify the denominator to equal 1. Because that's what our unit rate is. We have to have a denominator of 1. And then after that, all we're going to simply do is simplify our expression. So whatever the fraction is, we're going to simplify it to where the denominator has 1 and the numerator is a simplified expression between the division. So that's just the verbal expression of how to do it. Let's look at a scenario. So we have our Gatorade ad. 2 Gatorades for $3. We're going to find out how much we would get for $1, how much Gatorade we get for $1. So we have to make sure for 1 we have a rate, and we do. 2 Gatorades for $3. There's our rate. We've stated it down. Simple enough. The next thing we were going to do is we're going to divide the denominator number, so 3, to both the numerator and the denominator. So we would have 2 divided by 3 and 3 divided by 3. When we do this, it sets the denominator equal to 1 because anything divided by itself is equal to 1. So 3 divided by 3 would get us 1. And then we're going to simplify. 2 divided by 3, we're going to get 1.66. 3 divided by 3, we get 1. So for every dollar we are spending, we're getting 1.66 Gatorade. That's how much we're actually paying for when we're doing this. So if you're paying out $3, you're going to get 2 Gatorades, but if you're paying $1, you're going to get 1 Gatorade and about 2/3 of that Gatorade. So this right here is another verbal description, a scenario, if you would, that we have. So we need to find the unit rate. Adrienne biked 24 miles in 4 hours. If she biked at a constant speed, how many miles does she ride in 1 hour? So we need to make sure we have a rate, and we do here. 24 miles per 4 hours. So 24 miles in 4 hours per 4 hours. It's stated the same thing here. So we do have a rate. So the next thing we're going to do is set the denominator equal to 1. So it would be 4 divided by 4. And the numerator would be 24 divided by 4. So when we do that, we're actually working to get our unit rate here again. Setting the denominator equal to 1. We'll simplify that out. 24 divided by 4 gives us 6. So we have 6 miles in 1 hour. So that means that Adrienne can bike 6 miles in 1 hour. So that's what a verbal description of a unit rate looks like. Easy enough, straightforward. So our focus stated tables and diagrams as well as everything that we talked about. So what does a table and diagram look like? I haven't shown you that yet. Well, I'm pulling this straight from the book. The first example I have here is a table. There we go. So the example here says the price of 3 different bags of dog food are given in the table. Which size is the lowest price per pound? Round to the nearest cent. So the table here gives us 3 different sizes, 40, 20, and 8-pound bags, and the cost of that bag size total. So all you'd be doing there is trying to find out the unit rate of each bag. If you look at how they did it here, they just took the bag size and divided it by the price. The price per pound is what they're trying to find. So price divided by, or I'm sorry, pound divided by price. So when they do that here, the first one gets us $1.23 per pound. The second one gives us $1.17 per pound, and the last one gives us $1.24 per pound. So the lowest price one would be the middle bag. So the middle bag is actually your best rate because you're paying lower for the pound of dog food you're getting. The next example I have for you is a diagram, and I want you to focus on the top here. So it says, Leah paints 2 faces in 8 minutes at the craft fair. At this rate, how many faces can she paint in 40 minutes? So in order to find that out, we need to find out how many faces she's painting in 8 minutes, in which that case is 2 faces. How long does it take her to paint 1 face in that 8 minutes? Well, we can look at the diagram and see out of 8 minutes total, it takes her 4 minutes each to paint a face. So what does that mean? Well, we can look at it and go, well, if it takes her 4 minutes to paint a face, and how many faces can she paint in 40 minutes? Well, we just simply take 40, divide it by 4, and we get 10. Because we have 40 minutes, and in 4 minutes she can paint 1 face. So in 40 minutes, she can paint 10 faces. 40 divided by 4 gives us 10. The bottom example kind of goes through what I've already explained in prior to this. It's just as simple as setting it up as a fraction and working it through. All the methods I've shown you up to now are viable ways you can do it. It doesn't have to be any one exact way. As long as you can find the right answer, that's the focus here. Is making sure that you can identify a unit rate given any of those 5 scenarios. So time to try it. You're going to have some problems here. I want you to try them. You might need to pause it so you can make sure you're answering all the questions. If you can do it in the time that's given you, great. So rate or unit rate? Tell me if it's a rate or a unit rate. 2 beets over 3 minutes. 3 apples to 1 basket. $2 for 1 gallon. 115 students to 5 classes. So you're going to tell me which of those is a rate and which one is a unit rate. If you need to pause here, go ahead and pause it. If not, let it play and go on to the next set of questions. So the next question is, for the ones in the previous example, the ones that were not a unit rate, meaning you decided they were a rate, you're going to take them and put them in unit rate form. So whichever of these 4 that you decided was a rate, you're going to turn it into a unit rate. All right. So when you finish these questions and you want to check them, there is going to be a new assignment that opens up after this where you can check your answers. So make sure you check your answers and then move on to your next activity. If you need any help, please sign up on the help board and let me know. Or maybe you have questions for me that you can ask me at our small group mini lesson when we have it.